That's kind of what you're feeling here as you're going around town, is just the desperation, the need for answers to try to come to some understanding of this. And it's so difficult. As we were driving out to go interview one mother who had her son inside the school, inside the gymnasium at the time of the shooting, we were passing school buses and a child would get off the school bus. This was the middle school. And a mother would run, the child would just barely hit the front driveway, and a mother we saw run out from the front door across the lawn and hug her child and then take the child up. And we talked to her briefly, and she said, "This is my third child to come home. I've got them all home safely. I'm going to lock the door and just be with my family and hug them." And the father was there too with tears in his eyes saying, "I'm just going to hug my children right now." And we moved on. And as we were heading up a little bit further, you could see a police car empty in front of a house, another police car. They're assigning police officers to the houses that lost children or teachers or people inside that school. And it's just a devastating sight to see all of the different indicators of what went wrong this morning. And when we got to Melissa Macris's house, here's what she had to say about how she found out about the shooting at her son's school.
And then you hear "mama," and it's the greatest sound you will ever hear. And you know, we were lucky today. We got a miracle. Our little guy's okay.
A lot of those police cars we were talking about were actually in her neighborhood. There was one just a couple of doors down. They think there were definitely some casualties in her neighborhood. And right now she says she's going to take her son, her entire family, and just go out of the state for this weekend to go visit some family up in New Hampshire and just not try to unplug, decompress, try to figure this out as they just try to make sense out of something you can't really make sense out of. And one of the things she said about her son, who's 10 years old, is that he was in the gymnasium at the time of the shooting. And he was in there, the gym class was going on, and they started hearing bang, pop, pop, bang, bang. And it got louder and louder, and the gym teacher, she said, gathered all of the children into the corner, and they just waited and waited. And then through the door came a police officer, and they said the police officer gathered all the children together and said, "We're going to run as fast as we can, kids, out the door to the firehouse. Ready?" And they ran. And she said her son told her he ran as fast as he could, all the way to the firehouse where they got there safely. And that's where there was that reunion with his mother, and they got together. And they said there were other parents still there looking around, waiting for their children to come running through the door. And that just didn't happen. That's what's going on here right now. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live.
He's been watching the surf and the wind. Bob, how is it out there?
So we're underneath this house here, and it's pretty intense how quickly this came up. Parts of the houses now are starting to fly off, and it is really starting to kind of blow sideways here. And this, I don't even want to put that in the air, because when it goes airborne, they go flying. Parts of the houses are coming off. We're going to try to come over here and show you. You can see there's this peak right here. It's stripping the siding completely right off the house right there. They also have more of just a lot of waves and a lot of this. All this water was here not before, just 10 minutes ago. All of this water is out. It has just kind of come in right now. And keep in mind, we're still in a tide that's a low tide. Tide is still going out right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get over here and show you the damage that we've seen. Right now we're underneath one of the houses right here, but if you look out, you can see just how strong and how big these waves are that are coming up.
News 8's Bob Wilson is live in Watertown tonight with that. Bob.
Yeah, it almost feels like the Red Sox have won the World Series. There's a lot of cheering over here. Look at them all. They've been chanting USA all night long. It has been an exciting night. The suspect was arrested just up around the corner, taken into custody. And this is kind of the wall where the officers have been coming out here, and everybody very excited. They've been very happy. There's even a guy out here blowing a horn from the Red Sox game. And it has carried over after a long day of being on edge. They finally get to celebrate. As word spread that the last suspect was in custody, people were cheering and screaming, thanking the police for capturing him. And then the ambulance with the second suspect went by, and another cheer arose from the crowd after a long, hard day of a town in lockdown.
We have 3 locks on the inside door, locked all of those, which we never do.
The streets were desolate. There were no cars.
I parked and I literally ran from my car all the way here.
More than 1 million people locked down. It was a city on edge, especially in Watertown. That's where they focused the search. They had thousands of military police, National Guard, SWAT teams, regular police, all going house to house, business to business, searching for the last suspect.
It was unbelievable to be in that situation. I mean, From what I heard, the house is filled with explosives.
This right here is the outer perimeter. You can see a lot of police activity all of a sudden. They did have a large contingency of police officers over here, and then they moved up here. They do still have an ambulance on standby. They have a helicopter overhead, and I'm told that they're using the helicopter for infrared, for that thermal imaging. As they look down, they can see into the boat. They can watch his hands. They know he's alive. They know he's moving his hands, and they are looking to see if he's assembling a bomb or anything. And we've been hearing shots, and we're getting word he is in custody.
Well, I guess now at relief, it's good to know maybe, hopefully, that he's not out there anymore wandering around in my neighborhood.
However, many people in Boston feel this might not be the end. They hope it is, but they say they still need all the information before they can breathe a sigh of relief. You worry about that they're part of a bigger picture?
I mean, well, I guess it's obviously too early to tell for sure. It seems like they were acting relatively on their own, so I would hope that they are not part of a bigger picture, although especially if it turns out he's dead, it's going to be very hard to tell if they were acting alone or in concert with others.
We still don't know if these are the only two people that we should be afraid of, and in general, I guess.
Got you thinking about the bigger picture.
We're still living in a city.
Very, very wound up crowd here, as you can tell. They are celebrating here in the streets. Very excited. They've been bottled up indoors all day, told to stay down, and now they're letting loose. It's a good sign. It feels good. Right here in Watertown, Bob Wilson reporting live.
Bob.
Yeah, this happened back on Wednesday, and when it happened, the bus driver couldn't really see what was going on. He was driving. There was loud yelling, screaming, swearing. A fight broke out. He followed protocol, pulled over, and everybody ran off the bus. He reported it, and nothing much came of it until the video surfaced. It's a disturbing video that's going viral on Facebook and YouTube. A mother riding a bus on Albany Avenue in Hartford, baby on lap, swearing and yelling and threatening another woman on the bus. It's what happens next that shocks people.
What the hell?
That's crazy. That's insane. Look at that. Who would do that?
She don't even know that person she tossed the baby to.
The video shows the mother throwing her baby across the aisle to a stranger and then running up to the front of the bus and start punching the woman that she had been arguing with. It happened Wednesday morning. The video is 2 minutes long leading up to the fight. The mother is swearing, asking people to take her baby so she can fight the other woman.
This is disrespecting me for my baby, man. Somebody grab my baby, man. Oh my God, that lady's crazy. How she do something like that?
I know, look, and they're going to start fighting. You can see them fighting right here in the back.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
No regard for her own baby.
You know, I mean, the bus driver should at least stop and, got him off the bus.
Now, DCF and police are investigating. According to the Transit Authority, the protocol for when a fight breaks out on the bus is to pull the bus over to the side of the curb, open the doors, and let the women off. And that's what happened. Police say all protocol was followed. The bus driver contacted dispatch, and now it's under investigation by the police. It happened right here on Albany Avenue on Wednesday.
I think the police or DCF had to do something because that's something that never happened.
It should be no investigation. If they see what I just seen, she's taken. Put in state custody until the mother can go to court. That was assault. She's assaulted a child.
Many people believe it's not the fight, it's not the handing off of the baby, but the 2 minutes before the fight, the swear words, the threats, that's just as bad.
People that's sitting down not even doing nothing, stopping it, or they just, they at fault too. They needed to just stop it. Somebody should have stood up and said, chill with all that.
Now, just so we're clear, it doesn't appear that anybody was injured. You can't really follow up with the other woman who was in the fight, but they don't believe anybody was injured in that, especially not the baby at this point, but that will all be investigated by police. I'm Bob Wilson, reporting live in Hartford.